Did it.
There it goes.
There we go. All right, so I'm gonna hop right in. And because it is, oh my gosh, how many days left of the month? Is anyone else doing the countdown? There's three days left of the month. And so it probably shouldn't surprise you that this hour is largely going to be spent on brainstorming what action we can take and then taking it. Because 3 days left of the month, and that's what we have to be focused on. We can't talk about work, we have to actually do it. So first off, I will just give a little bit of talk because I think it's good to get in the right mindset. And okay, there's lots of things that can go through your head for Success Club and why is it necessary and how to do it in an authentic way. But I'll tell you the one thing that I consistently tell myself, the reason why I've hit Success Club 50 some consecutive months in a row is because as the end of the month approaches, I get more and more laser focused on getting it done. I stop messing around with notifications. I stop messing around with even honestly, messages of current existing people. If they can wait 3 days for the answer, I let them wait 3 days. I need to focus on Success Club. And I think it's important to remember why. Something that I consistently have reminded myself of is hitting Success Club for me, I remind myself is the lifeblood of my business. Because first off, having new people join or old people come back is so important for the energy and the engagement in my groups. No matter what I do, people fall off. So to get new people or old people re-engaged in the process, I need that for them, right? For them, for the people in my group, I need new people or existing people to come back and get engaged. So it's best for them if I do that, right? And it's best for me. Nothing drains me more than having a group that is just dead in the water. I love having new people to help. And again, old people coming back in and recommitting, it fuels me as a coach. Also, I don't know about your husbands or your financial situation or anything, but something that's been true for me from the beginning, well, I would say after the first few months, after my husband realized this isn't just a fun little thing that I'm going to do when it's convenient. Once it started to actually, take time away from the kids or away from whatever, I needed to show that it was doing something for my husband. For me, I knew from the beginning, it was filling my cup. It was re-energizing me. I love doing it. And I still love doing this 5 years in. But for him, I needed to show that there was income related to it, or it would soon be something that would continue to be a hard point in our marriage and in our family, right? Because anything that takes our time, yes, we can say it fills our cup and it's fun, which I hope it is for everyone. But there comes a point where if you want to be around for years to come for yourself or for your clients, then you have to make sure you're, making money that makes sense to keep pouring time and energy into it, right? So that's something too. First, when I was working full time, that was a big thing because I knew I needed this outlet for myself. But then clearly once I quit, I was but then Dan got a raise, so I still didn't need the income, but I needed to rationalize for our family that in a way that wasn't just, hey, it fills my cup, it's fun. Because then it still feels kind of selfish, to be honest. If it's just filling my cup and fun, yes, I need it, but it still feels selfish. So if I can, make sure this is a stable business that actually provides for my family, then that will be a stable business that makes sense for me to continue to spend time on and makes sense for my husband to be understanding, and my kids to be understanding and know mom's just not having fun now. She's doing something here, right? So that I know that everyone's story is different, but you really need to wrap your heads around why does Success Club matter for you and your business, and remind yourself of that, because it can be really easy to, get all up inside your head about it. And then of course it's super important to remember that by you helping people, remember something I always think about, because I don't want to just think oh, I'm just trying to hit Success Club for me. or for my business. Like, remember that every person, whether they're brand new or someone recommitting, like, remember how your life has changed. And remember, like, you are following up with them and giving them another reason to make themselves a priority and feel better. Like, right? So it's important to remember that too, that we're not bothering people. We're trying to help them. We're trying to help them to prioritize this amongst the crazy busy that I've been hearing more and more from people with, COVID restrictions ending and spring coming. Like, life is busy for everyone. And just to remember and remind yourself that you're trying to help them get energy for their busy life and help them fuel their bodies well and not just eat the donut, right? Like, we're trying to help them. So don't get into your head about this is just about Success Club. No, like, thank goodness our business isn't just about, selling shampoo or selling face creams or selling a shake. Like, our business is helping people. So never get in your head about that either, thinking that it's you helping people also helps you. So thank goodness we don't have to worry about that either. So another thing, okay, the last thing, because of course I could talk for an hour and that's not the goal. Another thing I often told myself is that, like, success, like, not hitting Success Club is a month that I let my business slide backward, right? Like, your business never just stays how it is. There's constantly people who are going to not prioritize it or get distracted or just decide it's not for them. So, like, not hitting Success Club means my business slid backwards. And so again, like, that helps me get into that, like, focused mode of making sure that doesn't happen. Then I tell myself, if I hit Success Club 5, that's a month where, at least in my business now, Success Club 5 means that I maintained my business. And Success Club 10 means that I grew my business. And I didn't say that early on, but now that I have so many, like, existing people's and renewals and stuff that can get me to Success Club 5, I have to tell myself that I need to hit Success Club 10, because my business really doesn't grow a lot if I had just hit Success Club 5, because I'm just getting old people, a BOD package, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really growth, it's just maintaining. So if you're a newer coach, I will say Success Club 5 is growth, right? If you're actually getting new people in the door. So again, just things that I tell myself, because otherwise it's really easy to be like, okay, it's 3, because I've been there where it's literally 3 days left of the month and I'm at Success Club 0. I was years into the business and that was still happening, where I was 3 days left of the month and I was at Success Club 0. And it could have been really easy to be like, okay, well, this month is pretty much over, I'll just hit it hard next month. No, because that means that I let a whole month where my business backslid. Like, no, it's time to rally and hit it. And then next month I'm going to do it again, because then I have 2 months of growth versus letting it backslide and then hit it. And then I'm just here, right? So, like, every month is a new opportunity, just like in our health journey. Like, every day is a new opportunity. Like, don't let it slide and do what you can. All right, I will stop. Now we're going to talk about what are we doing. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do in the next 45 minutes. Don't worry about it. He's home. Is he too wet or what? It's not out.
Yeah, the ground's still frozen.
Okay. Anyways, so the rest of the hour, we're going to talk about what action we're going to take, and then we're actually going to do it, because I know it's easy to get distracted and avoid it and then not do it. So me personally, I got a couple messages early this morning that I haven't responded to. So people who have questions or wanting to know how they can get signed up and stuff. So I need to do that. I also, if Frances is listening to this, I need to help her get her husband signed up. So I need to do that. And then I also, something that I have not done all of March that I've been meaning to do all of March is looking at my Beachbody leads and my existing customers' BODs that are renewing. I've been kind of, as they've been charged, I've been like, oh crap, I got to message them and tell them, like, they can, they can get a refund on that POD and I can get them a package instead. And I've done that for a couple of customers this month, and I don't like to be like, frantic mode, being like, get a refund and then I'll get a package. I like to be like, hey, your charge is coming up. Let's get right. Like, so I need to do that for the next 30 days, get ahead of that. And then the other thing I need to do is stories. And honestly, if I wasn't at Success Club, I would be focusing on follow-ups and invites. But I'm at, I think, Success Club 14 or 16 right now. So that's why I'm prioritizing other things. But just to give you a few ideas, that's what I'm going to be doing, because I still have stories from so many stories from Punta Cana. And it's not just like sharing. There's a lot of eyes. The second I do stories on Punta Cana, there's a lot of people that watch. But I also have a lot of ideas of lead gens I can do in our mix. So it's business building as well. So that's my top priorities for the next 45 minutes. Individual messages, BOD renewals, and stories, which I probably won't get to at this point. So let's go around, and Tessa and Katie, what do you need to do in the next 45 minutes that will help you end the month where you want to?
I think for me, I just need to invite people. I think I've done a lot in my stories, and of course I want to do more. But yeah, like I think now just going through the people who have been watching my stories and then personally like connecting with them. And
because you did a great job. I saw last night you did like sharing what was in the package. Like you've been really consistent in stories. So you've earned that right. So like
right.
You laid the foundation. Now you need to like ask. Yeah, I totally agree.
Right. And then I had a question. I'm not sure if this is happening to you guys either, but like so I usually make all my stories in Instagram and then like with the polls and stuff. So I asked my husband yesterday, I said, can you just go on Facebook and respond to my poll? That way I know that it's working. And it's not. Like it's showing up kind of like just a sticker or like a,
yeah.
I'm not even sure if people are wanting information and I'm not receiving that.
Yeah, I think it's been a new update between Facebook and Instagram where that's happened to me too. Because I was getting super frustrated. I was like, what the heck? Like, because I was even asking some like random questions for the same reason. Like,
Right.
can people not poll? But it's strange because sometimes it works on Facebook and sometimes it doesn't. The only surefire way that I plan on doing in the future, especially for lead generators, is to like when you're in Instagram, like it's going to take longer, but it's worth it because it's a lead generator post, right? So do all of them. And then when you get to the point where, okay, this is where I'm going to do a poll that's a lead generator, do it in Instagram and then download it and then go into, and put it to Instagram and then go to Facebook to stories and then add it in Facebook stories and put a Facebook poll on it.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not going to take that much time. You're reusing the same slide. You're just going to put a Facebook poll over top of the Instagram poll. And when you post it in Instagram, you can choose to not, because otherwise you're going to have two of the same slides to Facebook. So you can choose not to, or in Facebook, you can just delete it. If it went through already, you're like, oh, oops, whatever, just delete it. And then just add yours with a new poll. But I agree. It's frustrating. I'm trying to think of what stickers on Instagram have been. I think the slider still works. So I even saw April the other day use like more information, like they have to slide it. But I think honestly, especially older people, they're not going to know to slide. Younger people might know, but trying to think of what other stickers. It is strange because trying to think. Like my last set, I think none of the stickers worked. Because I had like polls. I had like 3 different polls throughout a series of like 30. And on Instagram, people were like polling their opinion and stuff. And on Facebook, there was nothing. So yeah, it made me be like, I don't think those stickers worked. And I've tried to do it for other people out of curiosity too. Like when I'm on Facebook, be like, does this poll work? And it doesn't. It just goes to the next slide. And like,
well, that's good to know. So
yeah, it's not just you. So that's kind of a workaround for it. I'm sure eventually they'll fix it. But I noticed in Instagram, they made like the stickers look different and added some functionalities. And anytime they do that, I think it takes some time for Facebook to catch up and have it be actual functional on their end.
yeah, well, that
Yeah,
makes
but I
sense.
agree. I mean, you've done a lot of groundwork on stories, so you just need to, and Facebook, you can see who has watched it for quite a few past days. So
Mhm.
that's good too, that you can go back a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay. And I guess this is kind of where I don't know, I feel like I always mess it up. But so
Mm-mm.
people who have been watching my stories, then like when I go to invite, do I always need to then like reconnect with them? Like get to like, hi, how you been? All that. Okay. Just,
If you're me, you don't do that, because if it were me, I wouldn't want someone to do that. But it really depends on your personality, especially at the end of the month. That's another reason I wouldn't. And you can use like the urgency of our group as a reason to kind of cut to the chase. Because our group started prep week this week. So, using that more of a reason as why you're connecting them on to make sure that if they are interested, that started prep week this week. So like would love to get you plugged in or get you more information if you're interested in joining, something like that. So yeah, because otherwise, especially people who, I have to remind myself this a lot, that other people don't see Facebook Messenger like I do. Like
Mm.
I like like all on top of it all the time. Most people who aren't like building a business, maybe check Messenger once every other day. Really, truly, if they're like a avid Facebook user back in the day, that was me. Like if I had a busy night, I just wasn't on it. If I was bored, okay, then I guess I'll check. Right? Like our minds are like, we plug into it so much that we think other people do, but they don't. So especially since it's so close to the end of the month, and our group already started, again, that's a natural deadline that to let them know in that first message, I don't think it's doing them a favor. That's how I like to think about it.
okay.
That babe. Off of his head. Huh? All right. All right.
It's
So
my
Katie's
turn,
got it in. Now Tessa, now your turn. What are you doing?
Um, Still just kind of having some, feel like forever lingering conversations with people. I am talking with one girl who she renews in April and she really wants to try some of the body classes. So just kind of working on her right now. I've been a list of people to invite. I've invited some of them and been ghosted. I do have a post that I want to get up this morning about the gut protocol. Um, and yeah, so just trying to invite and still feel very um, uncomfortable inviting people that I just don't have like connections to. So just kind of just been figuring out how to do that. And I know it's something I've been over and over and over and over and over again for the last like 6 months, but I just want to feel myself, and feel authentic.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll
so
get him Cheerios or he's gonna keep yelling.
um, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
And just go ahead, Katie.
I was gonna say I'm the same way, Tessa. Like, and that's why I asked, when inviting people, like, do I need to, even though they've been seeing my stories, it seems like forever, and they're always like my top 5.
Yeah.
Like, how much do I need to like reconnect or connect, versus just sending like a cold invite right away? Because then I feel like I'm pushing something if there's not anything there, or there's not even a connection. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, just doing my best to invite, and I know I could be better, but
Well, I will say, like, I still get in my head about inviting. Still, when I get ghosts, I'm still like,
yeah.
but I've kind of just changed. Well, it's still I will say that seeing what other people send as invites sometimes makes me go, ugh, I would never send that. But it works for them. Well, sometimes some people it doesn't work and they still keep doing it. But anyways, so I do think it is important to find an invite that feels good to you. But I don't think sending it ever feels good because you can easily get in your head and tell yourself the worst versus the best. What you're telling yourself is really how you're going to feel. So like, let's say, again, there's lots of different scripts you can go with, and you need to get one that actually sounds like you and would be in a way that you would want to receive it. Like, let's put you in that state. Like, let's say you actually really needed the help and you didn't actually believe that they wanted you, that they even, like, let's look at me and say, there's a lot of people that look at me and probably say, I could never do what she's doing. So I'm never even going to reach out because I could never do those workouts. I could never eat like that. Like, they're looking at me 5 years in and saying, I can never do that. So they're never even going to respond to a poll. They're never going to ask for information because they have zero belief they can do what I am doing. Okay, so let's put them in that situation. So I literally need to invite them if they're ever going to join me, because they've already told themselves lots of stories about why it's never going to work or why they're never going to do it or why it's not good for them. Okay, so now I've gotten to my head of knowing I have to invite them. Okay, so if that were me 5 years ago, what would I want someone to say? That's what I need to write. And me, no matter how well I know them, they can be my cousin, they can be a long lost far friend from high school. Me, I would not want someone to be like, hey, how are the kids? Hey, what are you up to these days? Because that would drive me nuts. Like, tell me what you want to tell me. Why are you reaching out to me? This isn't just to chat. And even if it is just to chat, I don't have time for that. Even if I love you as a cousin, I don't have time for that. Like, don't waste my time. So that is why I'll get my roasted beets. I'm telling you, I'm loving the ultimate reset. I'm excited because a lot of them I think are going to be gut friendly, so I will be able to use that for the gut protocol too. But anyways, so like for me, I know I would want someone to tell me why they're messaging me versus beating around the bush. And so then I get through all those hoops, and then there I am with that person thinking they could be in this situation. This is what I would want to say. It would still be hard to send that message, because if I'm telling myself, oh, they probably don't want to do this. Oh, it's probably not a good time. Oh, they probably can't afford it. Oh, I'm just doing it for my business. Oh, I just needed to do a HIIT Success Club. Oh, I just need them to. Oh, of course it's going to feel bad if that's what I'm telling myself. But if I tell myself they could really need this, they could really benefit from this, I could really help them. If I'm telling myself that story as I send messages, it's going to feel a lot better to send them. This is like totally Bob Hyland. This is his truth that I've heard so many times, because it's true. Like, the story in your head is going to feed how you feel. Of course you want a script that you feel good with. Of course you're going to, you want to have the pieces be good, but how you feel when you're doing it is 100% dependent on the stories that you're telling yourself, which could be true, could be crap, who knows? But let's start in a good place, because that's when like those little wins of like someone actually saying, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about it, or oh yeah, I could really use this, or oh, how much does it cost? Even something like that. Well, that means that there is a need there, that there is an interest there. Because the reason why those messages mean so much is because they're finally confirming the possible good story that you could be feeding yourself. Anyone who responds and has any kind of interest is finally telling you like, oh, that could be true. This could actually help them. I could actually help them. This could benefit. This could change their lives like it's changed mine. Like, right? But yeah, 100% how you feel is what you're telling yourself. Just like when someone ghosts you, how that makes you feel is what you're telling yourself. Maybe they're just too busy. maybe they are interested. Maybe they totally just forgot. I did like 30 follow-ups on Saturday. I got like, 4 no's right away. And then a couple like, oh yeah, I need to find that email again. And a whole bunch of people never responding. Well, now this morning I got another one. So it's been 3 days. That's like a year in my terms, right? It's been 3 days. If they didn't respond, clearly they weren't interested. Well, now I got another response from one of those people saying, oh yeah, I am still interested. What do I need to do? I could have just told myself on Saturday and beat myself up that I was bothering all these people. She was actually interested. She didn't know my group was starting. She didn't even remember where the email was, right? Like, so what you tell yourself is going to be how you feel about it. Were you helping people doing 30 follow-ups or were you bothering them? Whatever you tell yourself is going to be how you feel about it. All right, I'll stop talking. We have a half hour now. Let's get some work done. I'll stop.